الله. الحمد لله وحده، والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها. آمنت بالله، صدق الله العظيم، وبلغ رسوله الحبيب الكريم، ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. Respected listeners, how fortunate are we that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us time and again, and we love His blessings at every moment. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the clothes that we adorn and wear, all these are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessing. And if we really see in the dunya, and this has become a phenomenon that is visible throughout the world, that conditions are changing to such an extent that one day a person living in comfort and ease, and the next day he doesn't have a roof over his head, nor does he even have water to drink. There is water everywhere, but there's nothing to drink. That's what's happened in the floods. They cannot even cook food, and totally in need. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. These are the signs of Allah that He brings about in the dunya and constantly rotates them. Today it's them, tomorrow it can be us. It can be anywhere else. And we're seeing the floods are going from one area to another. And within the same countries, we have floods on the one side, earthquakes happening at the same time, tremors. Allah knows what the conditions are. But really, one very important factor is that we learn to be appreciative of what we have. Remember, if you are not appreciative, let it not be that Allah tests you and takes that away from you that you have, and you are without it. 1-2 days without water, and we know what our condition is. If it happens for months, no lights for a few hours, we complain. And there's no lights, and what are we going to do? No food available. We don't realize the side effects of having floods and having droughts. Automatically, fresh produce is damaged. And we're faced with a situation of shortage of food, prices that are becoming exuberant beyond the poor man's level. And when that happens, we sit with other problems. They also want to live. Theft starts. The spiral effect about everything we don't see. And let me tell you something, this doesn't just happen. It's not just a freak occurrence. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam forewarned us. Once you start seeing sandstorms, what a great sandstorm there was, even in Saudi. Maybe we've not seen the reports. In many of this thing, there was a major sandstorm that happened in China, in the desert. Sandstorms where everything was covered in sand. Even in Pakistan, in the Khar desert. That will become common. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam warned us. Earthquakes. Earthquakes in Iran, in Turkey, in Afghanistan, in Malaysia, in Philippines, all within 1 week. Then there was an earthquake in South America too. And then tremors. Major tremors happening. One that I know of that is major, there was a 0.6 point something tremor that happened in an area where there was floods. All this are there. Floods are mentioned. To such an extent, raining of stones, which is meteorites knocking the earth, and they say there is a few coming within a month or two. Why? Have we ever thought of it? "15 things is mentioned in one hadith. That Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned, when you see these things happening, then know one thing, these things will become common. Earthquakes, floods, fires, and such great fires that will be like storms, burning everything in its way." Have we seen the ferociousness of those fires? How many people left homeless? We still live on our laurels and think everything is going to be very nice. Allah save us. It is mentioned very clearly that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned the time when إذا اتخذ فيء دولة or دولة. Mali fay, there are certain parts in the Arabian Peninsulas, in the different parts of the Ummah, where the lands were not conquered by a war, but the people surrendered and handed themselves over to Islam. The wealth that is from that land is regarded as Mali Fay. In Surah Hashr, it is explained who are the recipients of it. A fifth must be put aside to be given of that wealth, especially for those who are the Hashemites or the direct descendants of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Remember, zakat is haram upon them. Haram. You can't give them zakat. And if you think, I'll give them no problem, they're living in difficulty, your zakat is not accepted. That means you got no respect for your Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In whose veins the blood of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is running, you want to give him your dirty wealth. And then you still think you're doing them a favor. Allah has made provision by the ayah of the Quran. مَا فَعَ اللَّهُ فَلِلَّهِ وَلِرَسُولِهِ فَخُمُسُهُ لِلَّهِ وَلِرَسُولِهِ. And then the rest will be given in accordance to the various people that is mentioned in the ayah. These places, because of demon crazy world that we live in, that calls themselves democracy, those lands have not remained in that position, but the governments have taken them over to be part of the government coffers and wealth. Have we even known that there is something like faith? As Muslims, maybe some has heard it the first time, some second or third time. You're not even aware of this. And this is the first time, which long time ago, it started from the 60s. Although very corrupt and a lot of corruption taking place, what I know in Pakistan, because the ulama fighting, they still kept the board fight, but a lot of corruption and wealth is stolen from it. But it is still kept as is. That I know, I can't mention of other countries. I know of other countries where it has been incorporated into the treasury. One. Then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned, wal amanatu maghnama. When people are given a trust, they say, Mali Ghanimat came, now I can take it, I can use it. When a person needs it, I'll give it back to him, but I got it now to use. Was it given for you to use? Was it a loan? Or is it a trust that's supposed to be kept away? To be returned on demand. And then furthermore than that, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had mentioned was zakatu maghrama. We take zakat as a burden and a tax upon us. And somehow or the other we try to swindle or wiggle our way out of paying our proper zakat. Where zakat has to be calculated, we do it by estimation. The calculation is an ibadat of his own. Let us think. Don't look at others. Let us look at ourselves. Are we involved in these things? And then it comes worse from there. It comes to more common issues. And the first mention thereafter, which inshallah next week, I'm only giving more the translation, and the in-depth explanation will be given of it. Then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the next one. وَتُعَلِّمَ لِغَيْرِ الدِّينِ. Education is made for everything else beside deen. Preference for the whole world is given beside deen. Then going into the family situation where the husband will listen to the wife and actually expel his mother and father. All those details are mentioned. Inshallah, if Allah wills, and next week we will discuss it. And I will explain the others to complete the 15, and then we will emphasize on the important ones and what people also feel needs to be mentioned about. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us understand every action has its reaction. And every calamity has its cause and reason. And know that we directly are involved in that cause and that reason. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us, protect us, and remove any waba and any calamity that is to come to our community, and grant us the opportunity of doing that which brings Allah's pleasure and which brings Allah's calm instead of His anger. Wa akhiru da'wana.